Shalom, shalom, shalom. You highly welcome, my dear brothers and sisters out there. I'm glad that you just clicked to watch this message. Today I'm going to be talking about the activities and the things which is going on both in the Middle East and in the west coast of Africa. Recently I have met with a Messianic believers in the Messiah. They are, among the Jewish people, husband and wife, which one is from Haiti, which is the husband, and the wife is a Jewish. And when I talk about Jewish, I'm talking about she's a Russian Jew that believed in the scripture. And so you need to be able to understand something about this. And there's a question that she asked me when we had discussion in regards to her own faith, because I happen to be able to take the time through the Ruach to expound so many things to her and to the family. And so what happened is, she asked me a very important question, which is something I believe that is very, very necessary for me to address in this particular form. And what is the question that she asked me after I must have spoken to her? I mean, the family in general. So what happened is that the question was, where does she belong to, seeing that I revealed a lot of things in regards to the scripture, who actually she is. And so she asked me a question about what is her own state as somebody who is seen as a white person who is in Israel. I mean, when you talk about believing, following Messianic Jews, and also believing that the people who are in modern day Israel are the true Jews, or are the Jews which the Bible spoke about. So she was asking me, if I say according to the things which I explained to her, which is a lot, we had a lot of conversations, according to the things which I explained to her, if I say that the people who are there are another people other than the ones they say that, that they were told that they are, who then are they? So who then are they? She talking about herself now, being in, because like I said, she believed that they are actually, so the gathering of the people, this thing I'm telling you is from direct conversation. They believe that the coming together of the people who are in Israel was as a result of the fulfillment of the prophecy, which is the gathering of the children of Israel there. But as usual, I went into detail to be able to really open up her eyes spiritually and physically, to let her understand what is actually taking place right there, which actually struck her in the heart. And what are those things that we need to be able to get to know? Because I know that so many brothers and sisters must have been, time to time come across things like this, in the sense whereby you hear people, when you talk about the people who are in Israel today, they say that they are the Jews. So what is the truth and the secret behind these things? What is really happening? Why are the so-called black people, so-called black, not seen in that realm of where the Israelis sees themselves? Now, understand something, that this particular woman, she's an elderly woman actually, sees herself as what? As Shemitic, and as the chosen. I mean, having been the chosen of the things which is already being written. So the things which happened in 1948 as a result of the gathering of the Israelites into that particular land, to her it was a prophecy being, it was a prophecy of that Israel being gathered together there. But the question that you need to be able to know and understand and ask is, remember that the Bible said that there is going to be peace when Israel is being brought back together into what? Into the place where they are at. Now there's something that really you need to be able to understand. What was the things which was going on in the ancient Israel, and who are truly the people who are there today, and what purpose are they serving? Because we cannot ignore the fact that there are people there. And is that actually the place which was being promised? The true Hebrew Israelites, or the true people who are going to be gathered, and is that actually the gathering of Israel? Because when you go into the scripture, the book of Deuteronomy chapter number 28 spoke about something from verse number 15. Now, before we go there, I want us to be able to just sit back and think about this. Like I said, we cannot deny the fact that there are people living in a land that does not belong to them. Point number one. I want us to be able to see it there very clearly. We cannot deny that fact that the people who are living in the place which is today called Israel, we cannot deny the fact that there are people living in a place today called Israel, and that people who are living there are a collection of people from Russia, from France, from Germany, from Italy, from Poland, from Spain, from Portugal, from Swiss. I mean, you can name it. It is a collection of what? We cannot deny that fact, isn't it? There is no denial about that particular fact. That the people who are there were a collection who are presently there. I'm talking about on the surface now. We are a collection of these people to be there. So they are there. How did they come to that particular place? Who are the people that actually orchestrated their coming up together? Now, something happened before these people were collected. Things went on before the World War II, because it was the pretext of the things that happened on the World War II that this particular collection of the people now occur. But I'm talking about something that happened before. Understand it. Before 1948. So what took place before, during that time, that warranted these particular people now to be able to be coming back, and they are claiming this portion of land where they are at presently? So there are people who played role in establishing the people who are called the Israelis today. There are people who actually played role in establishing them there. So what knowledge did these people have? What knowledge do they have? Because you would be able to know, like I said, you can't deny the fact that these people are strangers in that land, because even the president of Egypt said it. That how can these people live here black, and coming back, they came back white? That they can't accept that. I mean, how is that possible? So like I said, there is something that you are not being told the truth of what is really taking place. So who are these people that are there? Because the president of Egypt even said something which is very, very important that you know about. Why he said that. And not only that, Adolf Hitler was somebody who was so passionate about his people to the extent that he was telling them that you people must be out of your mind to be following somebody, the black people's religion, to call yourself Jews. And he was talking to his own people at the time. He was talking to a certain people who are of his own, but they are following the religions of what he, Adolf Hitler, called black man's religion. What he called a black man religion was actually an instrument which was being used in order to establish what they call today the state of Israel. So he went after the people who left their own way and they were following the black man religion. And what is it, the black man religion, that he called about? The religion of Judaism. So when you go back to the reality and the truth about who is actually, how did these people come into that particular place, you're going to see and realize that the people who are there were being put there by somebody. Now, I know people who put them there. And I know the role that these people are playing there. But what about the people who do not know what role those people are playing there? And why those people are even there? Now, those people now see those people as the chosen. And when you go into that place, now you see that there are different sects. You can get the Sephardim, you can get the Sephardites, you can get the Orthodox Jews, you will get the Messianic Jews, you get all kind of different sects of the people who are found in that particular places. Now, who are these people? Who are they? Are they part of a prophecy? Or are they that Jews which the Bible talked about? Because like I said, there is no way you would deny the fact that the people who are there are on a strange land which does not belong to them. The question is, if that land does not belong to them, where did they come from? And who are they? Who are they? Now, in order to tell you to understand, or in order to bring your knowledge to the reality of who these people are, you have to go back to the true histories of things which has already been written in the scripture, in order to know why there is war in that land between the people who are called the Palestinians and the people who are called the Israelis. You have to know this. Why is there fight between the people who are called the Palestinians and the people who are called the Israelis? Like I said, everybody who just is somebody who is studying history would know that the people who are there today calling themselves Israelis were a people who were established in 1948 after the World War II. So they are in a land that they are actually contractors, actors for somebody else. And so those people who they were actors for, those people who hired these people to be playing a role in that Middle East are the ones who Adolf Hitler was actually referring to as what? As the Jews. So Adolf Hitler was after the people who say that they are Jews, which is the people who had their own way, or just literally talk about their own life, but now have been convinced by another set of people. And so towards that thing, those people were rebels in the sight of Adolf Hitler, because these people who have indoctrinated them were the one that made them to be able to take control of a lot of things. I want you to be able to just understand what really took place. That is to say, even way back before the establishment of 1948 or the state of Israel, which is already been said. So those people who have gone on to indoctrinate a certain people and establish their own religion. Now, this religion was being established now on the base of using a machinery. And this machinery are a people from the people of Adolf Hitler. So Adolf Hitler was like, you people must be out of your mind accepting the religion of these particular people who came to you people with their own strange ideology. And they taught it to you people, and you people accept it. Therefore, we are going to kick you people. You call yourself a Jew, so we are going to deal with you people. Don't leave that religion for the people where it belongs, for the people where that it belongs to, because it was not your original religion. So Adolf Hitler was after the people who borrowed that religion. So who are these people that taught these people, and what was the reason? What was the purpose? What was the real intent? Now I'm giving you people mystery here, but some of you don't understand the nature of or the value of the things which I'm giving to you raw. So these particular people are a people who used to be in that religion. And what happened? Some people came over and they indoctrinated. They had their own way. But some people came and indoctrinated them in order to use them as a machinery to be occupying this particular place where they are at now. So World War II was a smoke screen in order to establish that particular place. Now these people are there. There are people who are called the Palestinians. And those them Palestinians are people who are they are people who are on their own, stubborn people on their own, because they themselves had believed that the land which they are occupying for the longest, now one of a sudden belongs to them. You know that saying which they say, some people believe that if a lie be, maybe years and everybody forgets lies, then therefore one of a sudden it might turn out to be a truth. That is what the Palestinians think about themselves. That is what they think about the land which they are occupying. Now, these things that I'm telling you happened way before 1948 is a child's play. Now, something I want to bring to your knowledge is this. There are people who are masters. Who are masters to using religion as an instrument of colonialism. Now, the people who are called the Palestinians, I'm just trying to bring you across to be able to show you the things which is going on all the way from Middle East, and be able to give you the revelation of who the people who are in the Middle East today, who are calling themselves the Israelis or the Jewish people, and the connection of these people to the people who are in the west coast of Africa. And the reason why you see United States has to be able to sponsor and support with the last drop of their blood to the people who are called the Israelis. All these things are triangular form of a thing which is already being found in the star, in that particular, watch out, that particular flag, and you see that particular star, and you see the connection, the pointing angles that connect everything together. But I'm speaking to the people who can be able to really see and sit back to analyze these things which I'm telling you all. Now, the Palestinians say that that particular land belonged to them. Oh, so 1948, one of a sudden, people sprang out. And these people that sprang out, the Palestinians were like, hell no, we will not be able to accept you people in here. Because you people don't belong here. You people were not here before. You people are not the ones who are supposed. We have the knowledge about the people who are here before we even came there. We, the people who call themselves Palestinians, were like, We have the knowledge of the people who used to be here. It was not you people that were here. Because you people are white. Now, understand what the former president of Egypt said, which he is. If you trace his origin, you're going back to the same people who spoke or who are fighting against the existence of the people who call themselves Israeli today. So now, why is it that there is not going to be peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis? And what is the bigger picture of something which I want you to be able to see? Why there is a fight between the Palestinians, the Gaza Strip, and the Israelis, you need to be able to understand, is because the Israelis came into that particular place after the Palestinians have been able to establish their own state, and they are able to take those particular area and claim it to be theirs. But like I said, there are people who already were living in that place of the land of the Palestinian even before the Palestinians came into that particular place. Now, the Palestinians have a secret about when and why and how the Israelis came into that particular land. They have the recorded history on how these things happen. They knew who these people are. They knew where they are coming from. They knew the stationing of those particular people there. So they knew that these people are fake. It was a fake establishment. But they themselves forgot, when you talk about the Palestinians now, they themselves equally forgot that they themselves are also acting the same thing that the Israelis are acting. Did you understand what I just spoke to you about now? The Israelis are actors. Somebody brought them in there. Now they used a smoke screen of World War II to be established there for a reason. For a reason. So they are actors. Somebody brought them in here and planted them there. Their planting was 1948. So that land was a desolate before they brought a people. Literally, so it's not that because it is a desolate, that does not mean that nobody was living there. It was a complete territory that is contained literally where the people who are called the Palestinians were in. But you have to see the bigger picture. You, being the Palestinian, claiming that land, were you in that particular land 1,000 years ago? No. The answer is no. Were you in that land 500 years ago? The answer is no. There, let me say 2,000 or whatever 1,000 years ago. The answer is you were not there even before, because it was the king of Babylon, the king of Assyria, was the one that brought you people in and planted you people there. The same way that the people who are called the Israelis today were being brought in by some machineries and planted them there. That was how you people were also being brought in from what? From Havilah, from Katvim, from Hamath, from Safavim, from all other places, which is within the province of Asia, which is within the province of Babylon. And they brought you people over and they planted you people in this particular place where you people today claim to be yours. The people who are Israelis knows about this. They have the detailed history of you people, the same way you people have a detailed history on how they came on there. So you cannot, you have no right to tell a machine, you are a machinery which is being used by the king of Babylon, by the king of Assyria to be there. You are the machinery which is being used. That was the reason why you were being brought from different land and you were being planted there. So you people, because you've stayed there for a longer period of time, for the longer period of time than the people who were being planted recently, then you started being like, no way, we would not accept your own being here. Because you yourself, you bear witness, you know that there were people who were there even before you yourself. So you have the history of the Israelis when they came in. But the message that I have to you and the news which I have for you is that you see those them Israelis which you're seeing there, somebody equally taught those them Israelis your own history on how you equally came into that particular land, which is called the land of the Palestinians in Gaza. So what happened? What really happened? These two, you are trying to say that the Israel would not be able to be there because you have his own, you know that he came there in 1948. And the Israel is saying that you, hell no. We also know when you people came in there, when you people were being planted by the king of Babylon. And so both of you are clashing, having the secret, knowing the secret that both of you came on a certain date and time. And so as a result, you can forget it. There is no going to be what? Peace in those particular places. Why? Because both of you are fighting over a land that does not belong to either of you. And the people who actually the land belongs to, those people has been sent into what? Into an exile. They are in exile. They are in exile. They are in exile. They were being uprooted there because of the atrocities which was being going on, because of the things which was happening then. They were being uprooted and they were being sent into different places. And so they went into different places. They started doing what they are doing. But in that particular place, you know what? They say, here, you're not going to be there. And therefore, because that land was empty, that was when the king of Assyria, the king of Babylon, had to be able to do what? To bring you people and be able to plant you people there. And since then, you people have been claiming that land. When you know the truth, you know that that particular land did not belong to you people originally. Oh, but you forgot. You think that because you've been there for so long, therefore that land belongs to you. You know why? Because these damn people who were being planted there were being planted to remind you people that you people should not feel comfortable there. There's no way you can feel comfortable on something that does not belong to you. So the Israelis are machineries which is being used by some, you want me to call them names? The Israelis are machineries which are being used by the people who are in the west coast of Africa to be able to defend and be able to also show the people who call themselves Palestinians that you think you have a knowledge or history of something. We have more knowledge and history of what you think you know. Therefore, you need to be able to understand that the same purpose that you think you are serving is the same purpose that we, when you talk about those them Israelis now, are equally serving in that place which you call the Middle East. And now what is it? They are defending what they, what somebody sent them. So they are there defending on what somebody sent them in order to defend. And in return, they are being paid. So where are they from? This is the reason why they picked them from different places. And they planted them in that place. All around them, they are all like, the whole people around them are like, no way. But it does not matter, because the ancient ones, the ancient people who have the ancient knowledge of what took place, have planted them there, and there's nothing that you people can do about it. And what is it? You see the prophecy which the Bible talked about. And what is that prophecy? The Bible said that what? That Japhet is going to be in the tent of who? Of Shem. And that is the prophet. And that is the prophecy. So Japhet was being taken and was being planted in what? In the tent of Shem. And who is that Japhet that was being taken and was being planted in the tent of Shem? When you go and you read the book of Genesis chapter number 10, the Bible talked about the children of Japhet. And one of those them children of Japhet, or multiple of the children of Japhet, you hear it talk about the Grecians, you hear it talk about the Spaniards, you hear it talk about the Moscow, people from Moscow, which are the Meshach. You hear the Bible talked about the Ashkenazim. And those them Ashkenaz are chosen for this purpose, to fulfill a prophecy. We have to tell you the real truth of what is going on. But the purpose of which they are serving is not what they themselves did not know about, because they calling themselves Jews was out of equation. They did not even know what a Jew is. There are people who are using them to serve that purpose. Their own elder brother is using them to serve this particular purpose of what they are serving there. So they are machineries which were being picked from different places in order to establish the state of Israel. And so what is going to happen? They are going to be paid. You can allow somebody to be able to come from his own land and come here to be able to protect some certain things, and you're not going to pay him for the work that he's doing. They know that they are actors. They know that that land which they are in is not theirs, but they know that it is something that was being given to them by somebody. Just the same way that you see what is going on. So what am I trying to say? So this particular Messianic Jew was like, if that is the case, that the Israelis and the Palestinians are fighting over a piece of land that does not belong to either of them, then who are they? Who is she? Literally, where is she from? Which, when you go into the scripture, the Bible really define, because she called herself an Ashkenaz. And there, lo and behold, her tribe was even being mentioned there. Which is she's actually from what? From that particular bloodline of what? Of Japhet. Because when you go in verse under Gomer, that is when you're going to see the children of what? Of Japhet, who are being listed. This is where you're going to find Greece and other, when you even talk about people who talk about the Bulgaria, the Ashkenaz, the people who are under the Caspian Sea, the people who are under the Black Sea, towards the area of Ukraine, towards Russia, which is Meshach, and so Tubal, which is like Turkey, where people talk about Turkey today, Constantinople, and all these people, they are all the same beings, which were being used to an extent. What happened? They were being chosen to play this role. The one that were being chosen among those ones that were being chosen, one of them is what? Is Ashkenaz. Now, in order for those people who use religion as an instrument to indoctrinate these people, they needed it to be able to really tell these people something, brainwash for whatsoever, in order to set up this particular place, because they needed them to be there in order to protect them against those stubborn Palestinians. So the Palestinians are there trying to tell the Israelis that you people does not belong here. That they are, the Palestinians will tell them that the Palestinians are the original owners of that particular land. And the Israelis are trying to tell them that you people got to be joking. We have the history of how everything happened. The same way you are trying to kick us out is the same way we are going to kick you people out, because the same place where you people are The same area where you people are is not even yours. The place where you claim to be your own land is not even yours, because somebody was there before you people came there, before those people were being sent out and you people were being brought in. And those people are going to return to their own land. And so until those people come back and return their own land, that is when the gathering is being called, and not this play that you people are playing there, whether you are a Palestinian or you are Israeli. I know the blasphemy of them who say they are Jews, but they are not. He said, I know thy works and tribulation. And I know the blasphemy which the people who say that they are Jews, but they are not. You see, thou art rich. You know, talk about the book of Revelation 2:9. Say, thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of the... thou art poor, but are rich. And I know the blasphemy. So the people who actually are the Jews, they are rich people. But they look to be like as if they are poor. And there are people who say that they are Jews, but they are not Jews. But those people are the synagogue of Satan. What does the Bible mean by the synagogue of Satan? Bunch of adversaries. Bunch of adversaries. Rebels. So what does it mean? Palestinian, you think that you know something, you think you are a rebel, you think you are stone-headed, stubborn. Now somebody who is double more stubborn than you are is yet in your territory. Now how are you going to deal with that? So both of you are going to be clashing day and night, and there's no going to be peace in that land until that particular place is what? Completely purified, in order to allow the original owners to return to that land. And so when the original owners return into that land, that is when peace is going to reign. But before then, you can forget it. You can do all kind of treaties on peace, but it cannot hold. It cannot hold. These people are machineries. Both sides, both the Palestinians and the Israelis, they are both machineries. Somebody is using them in order to actualize a higher purpose over there. So there is no way, like I said, that these people are going to come into agreement to something until they reveal the secret of one another, which they are not yet ready to give up. Both sides cannot reveal those secrets, because revealing those secrets means their own fall. Until they come out and be able to say, okay, you know what, they are ready to be able to do what? To reveal the secret of what, you know, what they both are having against each other, then there is no going to be peace there. And this is something which they are not ready to do. So since they are not ready to do it, there is no going to be peace in that particular land. They can do all kind of treaties they want to do. They can do all kind of treaties they want to do. When you see Jerusalem being encompassed by army, let him who is in Judea flee all the way towards the south. Run away. And so the people who ran away that particular place, you think that those people, them people were fools? No. They knew that something is going to happen. They knew that. They had a plan. They had a plan, bro. These people were ancient beings. God, what is it that you don't understand here? These people are ancient beings that took heed to advice which was being given to them. And so they did not just run away and just left that particular place like that. And just left it all. They ran away and just forget about it. When these people were the same people who were even giving the Romans tough time. So, but when the Romans were after them, these people had to run away. And before that, what happened? They had to come back in this form. They had to be able to stay where they are, and they are operating through an invisible hand. But some of you don't understand what I'm really telling to you, my dear brothers and sisters. That's why you need to be able to be inclined, because what you're really saying about this particular world is nothing but what? But a bunch of illusions. which are things which are meant to do what, to trap those who needed to be trapped, and those people who are to get out of here have to be able to do what, to get themselves ready and get out here. Today you don't understand the reason why you see that the people who are in Israel do not even see black people as part of the people who are already being written. Because this is already something which has already been prophesied about a certain people. Today you have your own family, you see people who call themselves, Ethiopian Jews. You don't know the connection which they had, the secret which they had to be making this particular claim. Because they can show you every detail of even when those people, their own Jews, overwrite this particular people's own. But yet these people are not welcome in Israel, and you don't know why. You don't understand that this is a conspiracy that has to be done in order to do what? In order to actually use a certain people as a machinery until a certain time, and then the box is going to be open. They are unpaid jobs. And like I said, ain't nothing wrong with what they are doing if they are, as long as they are there to fulfill a prophecy. Understand what I say? So they are working actually for some people. But it's just that those people did not know that these people are being used on their behalf. Nobody ever told you something like this actually, right? It's just that they themselves did not even know that they are being used for other people. You got to wake up, my dear brothers and sisters out there. Yes, of course, there are people who are being helped. And things will be happening. Some beings will be fighting on your behalf just because you've not been awakened to the reality of what is happening. Does not mean that those things will not go on. So while you are awakened to the reality, you will not know why they had to be able to do what they did at the time. Just like what happened during the time of Mussolini, between Mussolini and Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie. When the war happened and his Imperial Majesty was being used as an instrument in order to defend the dignity of the motherland, to prevent Mussolini from trying to do what, to take over the whole continent through by defeating Ethiopia. Because if Mussolini had been able to defeat Ethiopia, the language of Amharic and a lot of writings, a lot of things would have been deserted completely. And not just writings now, but the system, the dark powers which is being used in this particular third dimensional paradigm would have been taken over. But it wasn't easy for Mussolini. That was why he was being defeated. Why? Because the things which is there in Ethiopia is far beyond he himself, Mussolini, can handle. So it was just the same thing that you're seeing the Israelis are doing. His Imperial Majesty was an instrument that was used in order to do what, to help the children who needed to be able to grow in the later times. So when they grow and their eyes is being opened, they are going to be grateful to Mussolini and to His Imperial Majesty for the fight which they have already done. Now the Israelis are receiving a lot of bombardment. But like I said, somebody is using them, and they themselves are babes, they are children. I tell you reality, they are children to really what is going on. higher power is using these particular beings, which they themselves are blinded to. They are only blinded, given piece of paper or, you know, money, promised piece of paper. Take it as much as you want. You give it. That is why you see many millions and many billionaires or whatsoever is being found in what among the people who call themselves Jewish. They wish to be Jews. And so what happened? They give them money. You want money? Take. You can print money. Anything that you want, print. But this is what I want you to do. And there's no way you can be able to go against that. So they were being given money. They were being given money. They were being allowed to print money from thin air. They give them anything they want. For what? So that the purpose, the original purpose, will not be diverted. And what is it? You see those damn people there? You see what I want? I want those particular people there. Those people who tend to say that they are. Tell me your request. What is your request, you Jewish people? Money? Print money. I give you license to print money as much as you want. But you see those people who they call them, they call themselves, that land Palestinian belongs to them. Don't let, see their, no, you know when they came, I told you when they all came back here. I told you when the land was being given to them. I told you when they all came and they were established in that particular place. So, keep eye on them. So they are missionaries working for somebody. Why are they working for you people? Because you are on exile. Weren't you the same people who disobeyed everything and they scattered you people everywhere? So you are still on exile. And because you are still on exile, somebody is working on your behalf to I'm giving you people mysteries here. Don't you people understand? Somebody is working for you to defend that particular land which you call yours. So that when you return, when after all said and done, if they point you people back to that particular place, you people are going to be the ones. Some who are chosen are going to be the ones running there and running the one in the west coast of Africa. So these people are missionaries who are being bombarded, who are being dealt with, who are being, fired. By some forces. Because those forces knows that this warfare is not what you think about. Now, like I said, everything was being given, was being open, given to them. They need anything, give it to them. They need money. Allow them to print that money to buy all kind of weapons they want to buy. But you see this agenda of protecting that particular land, it is spiritual stuff which they themselves cannot understand. So they are all about money. And so they were allowed to print that money out of a thin air. And so get all what you want. But you see that mission? Through that, rule what you want to be able to rule. What I want you to be able to understand, my dear brothers and sisters, is yes, there are people who call themselves Jewish. But so many of these people are the children of Japhet. They did not even know what Jewish is. They wish to be like them Jews. But at the same time, these people are serving a prophecy. And this prophecy is on behalf of the children who actually the land belongs to. I give you mysteries in regards to this. I give you mysteries for real. And because they do this, that is why they were being given license to print money out of a thin air. That is why your license paid money, your tax paying money floods to these people. Because they are not fighting just their own cause. They are fighting for the cause of the real people or the real Jews who are going to return there in order for that land to be at peace. And when those people return, that's another world entirely different. Because then there's not going to be that kind of war which you're seeing on a daily basis with what with the Palestinians are going to be. They are going to succumb. Even when you talk about it, you understand the nature of where Canaan is. Now, do not be carried away, like I said, by the color of one's skin. A lot of people make you to think that because somebody is white or will say, no way, this goes far beyond the color of your skin, my dear brothers and sisters. But like I said, low energy are the people who really see those kind of things, which is an instrument for this dark world, which is an instrument for the beasts. What I'm saying is, my dear brothers and sisters, yes, there is a warfare which is already being undertaken. 1948 was an instrument, was a creation of something which we all know when it was being established. I mean, people who lived through that particular time are still alive. People who experienced the establishment, the war, World War II, the establishment of State of Israel, they are still alive. A lot of them are still alive. When Israel was being established, a lot of them are still alive. Who can tell you how those things happen? So we are not talking about something that is a fiction. But you can see and know that these people were being planted there. The question that you need to ask yourself is by who? Who was the one that planted these people there? Come on, common sense. Who was the one? You know that they cannot plant themselves there because what is there will swallow them themselves. They were not the ones that planted themselves there because they were yet in the caves before somebody went and brought these people out from the caves and gave them a knowledge that made them to be able to do what, to be part of the people who are now called the elite. Laughable. But like I said, my dear brothers and sisters, you need to be able to see and understand the nature of what is really going on. I'm giving you mysteries hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. Now, as they walk there, and as the children are getting ready, that is why you're going to see that the land has to be able to be first flushed. Flushed in order to do what? To raise back and bring back the original people who that particular president of Egypt was talking about. The original people who actually owns those particular places. But like I said, do not let black or white be able to deceive you. Color is an illusion itself. Is an illusion. I tell you, real talk is an illusion. Do not be deceived. But then that is when you're going to see the way is already been paved, made for the people who are going to return. It's already been done. So what is going to happen? You see, the Palestinian or the Gaza or whatsoever, those them people, they already, everything has to be able to be done for the people who originally owned that particular place when they come back, so that there will no longer going to be all this particular war and whatsoever. And so what is going to happen? The people who are going to be there are going to be the ones who are going to be ruling. They are going to be just selected few, send them there, and then the real rulership is going to be taking place in the west coast of Africa, because the people who already planted and caused everything, they ran away. They ran away, so they used a mirror, they used something to be able to be operating that particular place, which is called Middle East. You don't understand when the king of Assyria said that he's going to come and be able to do what? To desolate Jerusalem. And the Most High through, that is Yahushua, the Most High through Yahushua, said that he's going to defend the land for his own sake. And so the people who are there are people who are being bought, people who are being paid. So they have the license to print the money. They have the license to even get your own tax-paying money, because they are on a strange land, working for you if you are the true children of what? Of the book. you would see the connecting part aspect of this particular word by the time that you are being elevated. Yes, like I said, there is a prophecy which they are fulfilling, but not as the Jewish stuff which they tend to think themselves that they are. They are not Jews. When you talk about Jews, they are not Jews. It's a collection of people. They don't even know what a Jew is. They don't even know what a Jew means. When you talk about the real Jews, they don't even have no idea. You need to be able to understand what is happening, my dear brothers and sisters out there. And that is the reason why I want you to be able to pay attention to the things which is going on in the Middle East and in the west coast of Africa, because your eyes can now see clearly. You would know that before 1948, and no side of it, before those particular time or establishment, something has been going on that even warranted somebody, like I said, who went into the Caspian Sea before he even went to the Caspian Sea and indoctrinated those people and gave them his own version of religion. Those were the people who Adolf Hitler was saying that, how dare you people who are from Japhet trying to be able to do what to follow the religion of somebody who taught you whatsoever, which is one of those children of Shem that came all the way. And now you see those people who are from the seed line of Japhet are claiming Shemitic. How can they be Shemitic when they have their own bloodline clearly said, just because you are being picked and you were being put in a certain land, and that is why you are now calling yourself Shemite, because you are in a Shemitic land, because you are in a land that was being promised to the children of Shem. You are not yet Shemitic. You are Japhetic. You are only serving a purpose. You are only acting. Some of you don't understand what is going on. Some of you don't understand. But I'm here to elevate your knowledge of the things which has already been contained in the scripture and give you that light of wisdom and prepare you for the things and the tasks ahead. I'm just making these versions of this particular message. I'm going to continue, like I said, detail after detail, to be able to show you, even using the scripture, to show you how these things played out and why it is already being recorded. It's been recorded for the longest in the scripture, and they knew about these things. The Israelis were being taught by a people in the west coast of Africa, and so they are using them to fulfill their own purpose. So they are machineries working not just for those people, but for, that is why United States is in support of them. So it is now a giant stuff. Even I would say humanity, third dimensional humanity, who need to be able to go. Already I know that that so many of them, places like the Catholicism needed to be able to do what, to take those particular area everywhere in order to establish their own ways. But there are very tiny children who are still there, who are remoting everything. Well, this is it, my dear brothers and sisters out there. We're going to discuss and talk more in details in the next chapter of this particular message, or this particular update about West Africa and the Middle East, how the journey now took place, and the running of the children from Middle East to West Africa, and from West Africa they dispersed into different, not just in West Africa, even to Sudan, where you talk about the Khartoum area, or you talk about the Sudanese area, how they spread over there and went all the way towards the Middle East, towards South Africa, and so on and so forth. A lot of brethren, a lot of the children who fled, and so when they came and encamped in places which is known today as Sudan, and from there now they went towards west coast of Africa, and from west coast of Africa they dispersed and went to the Americas in order to help in establishing the laws which is going to help the people which is going to help the establishment of this state of Israel. We're going to take it round and connect it and show you how it all played out, in order to connect it back to show you how the state of Israel was being established. That it is something which was already being pre-planned. You ran away, you went to West Coast of Africa. From West Coast of Africa, some of you now went to the Americas, to the Caribbean, and from the Caribbean to the Americas. So what happened is that you people rose to the position of becoming the people who are going to write a constitution, a law, or what have you, that is going to favor the establishment of the state of Israel. All these things plays out. All these things are things which were already being orchestrated. All these things were things which were already being planned in advance. Which is why the state of Israel is now in existence, and the major country which is backing and supporting them is what is the United States of America. And who are the people who built the United States of America? Go and found the Kingdom of Wida in the West Coast of Africa, where their establishment of their kingdom was. Is from where they established that particular place, and they were able to build that particular place which is known as United States of America. From there, the people who were there were the same people, because today they have drafted, that is the same people who drafted the bill of amendment or whatsoever, the bill of calculate them constitution, the law, the whatsoever, to help the establishment of the state of Israel, and in return build back the kingdom which has been destroyed in the West Coast of Africa. It's a cycle, continuous cycle of things. But some of you can see and understand the nature of what is really taking place. But I'm glad that you're here today. We're going to go into detail in the next topic, or in the next series, like I say, of the updates of the activities of what is going on in the West Coast of Africa. Remain strong in the name of Yahushua. I say to you all, no hate, only love. No hate, only love. Stay strong in the name of Yahushua. Shalom, my brothers and sisters out there. Shalom.